What's the worst part about flying? Is it the stress? The long lines? The feeling that you're just a nameless face being herded through a giant, confusing building? We've all been there. The discomfort, the surprise fees, the sheer exhaustion of it all. But what if I told you it doesn't have to be that way? What if you could walk through the airport with the confidence of a seasoned pro, avoiding the common pitfalls that trip up 99% of travelers? Today, we're unlocking 25 specific strategies that will completely transform your flight experience, no matter which airline you're on or how much you paid for your ticket. These aren't complicated hacks for the super elite. They are simple, practical tips that any of us can use, starting with your very next trip. And make sure you stick around for the final tip. I'm going to share a ridiculously simple baggage claim trick involving a single sticker that can get your luggage out first, almost every single time. Ready to change the way you fly forever? Let's get into it. Most people get to the airport and immediately start looking for those big, flickering departure boards, trying to hear garbled announcements over the intercom. That's the amateur move. The pros know the real source of truth is already in your pocket. Your Airlines app gets information faster than anything in the airport. I'm talking gate changes, delays, boarding updates. The app knows first. You'll often get a push notification on your phone a full 10 or 15 minutes before the airport screens even flicker to life with the new info. But here's where it becomes an absolute lifesaver. Your flight gets canceled. What happens next? A tidal wave of hundreds of frustrated passengers floods the customer service desk, forming a line that looks like it'll take 3 hours to get through. While they're waiting, you open the app. Tap, 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 and you've rebooked yourself on the next flight out. You're walking to your new gate while everyone else is still figuring out where the line even begins. These apps let you track your bags in real time, hold your mobile boarding pass, and even access exclusive upgrade offers. The flight attendants and pilots? They're using the exact same app to manage their day. If it's good enough for them, it's essential for you. Don't fly without it. Let me paint you a nightmare scenario. Your flight is delayed by 3 hours. You've been scrolling on your phone to pass the time and suddenly, it's dead. Your boarding pass was on that phone. The app you need to rebook a potential cancellation is on that phone. The rideshare app you need to get home is on that phone. You are, for all intents and purposes, completely stranded. You look around for an outlet. The few that exist are all occupied by other desperate travelers, huddled around them like a campfire. The one you finally find is broken. This is the modern traveler's nightmare. A dead phone isn't just an inconvenience. It's a catastrophe that cuts you off from your tickets, maps, contacts, and everything else you need. This is why frequent travelers now consider a good power bank the single most essential item in their carry-on. Get one with enough juice for at least 2 or 3 full charges. Keep it charged before you leave home. This simple, inexpensive device turns a potential travel disaster into a minor hiccup. You've probably wondered if you're getting played by airline websites. The answer is yes, you are. Airlines and booking sites are watching every single move you make. They use browser cookies to build a profile on you, and they use it to squeeze more money out of you. When you search for the same flight from New York to LA, over and over, their algorithms see you. They don't see a person, they see desperation. They think, this person really needs this flight. Let's bump the price up another $50. It's called dynamic pricing, and it's designed to punish you for comparison shopping. But the fix is incredibly simple. Always, and I mean always, search for flights using incognito or private browsing mode. This opens a clean window that doesn't have your search history, so the website treats you like a brand new customer, seeing the best possible price. Before you do that, clear the cookies in your regular browser to wipe the slate clean. This simple trick can save you anywhere from $50 to several $100s on the exact same seat on the exact same flight. When you choose your seat on the airline's website, you're looking at a work of fiction. That little blue square looks just like all the other little blue squares. But the airline isn't telling you the whole story. They won't tell you that seat 24A doesn't recline because there's a wall behind it. They won't tell you that seat 14C has limited legroom because of a metal entertainment box right where your feet should go. And they definitely won't mention that you've chosen a seat right next to the lavatory. which will be a source of constant noise, traffic, and unpleasant smells for the entire flight. This is where SeatGuru becomes your best friend. It's a website that shows you the real seat map. It's color-coded based on reviews from actual passengers. Green seats are the good ones. Yellow seats have a potential issue, like limited recline or a misaligned window. And red seats? Red seats are the ones you avoid at all costs. These are the seats that will make a long-haul flight feel like a torture session. Experienced travelers never book a flight without cross-referencing with SeatGuru. It takes 2 minutes, and it can be the difference between arriving refreshed and arriving miserable. Everyone knows about the long, soul-crushing security lines. And most people think the only way to skip them is to pay for programs like TSA PreCheck or Clear. But that's not the whole story. First, check your credit cards. Many premium travel cards, like the Chase Sapphire Reserve or the Amex Platinum, will actually reimburse you for the application fee for TSA PreCheck or Global Entry. You get all the benefits of skipping the line, and it costs you absolutely nothing. Second, there are other programs most people don't know about. Active military personnel and their families often qualify for expedited screening. And some airports even have their own free programs. They might have a dedicated lane for families with young children or for passengers on super early morning flights. It never hurts to politely ask a TSA agent or airport employee if any such options are available. And if you ever fly internationally, just get Global Entry. It includes all the benefits of TSA PreCheck, plus it lets you speed through US customs when you return. It's the best value in travel. There's a special kind of pain that comes from paying $7 for a bottle of water at the airport. You know it costs a fraction of that anywhere else, but you're a captive audience. But you don't have to be. Here's the trick. Bring an empty, reusable water bottle with you. It's perfectly fine to take through security as long as it's empty. Once you're on the other side, you're in the free water zone. By law, airports have to provide free drinking water, usually at refill stations or water fountains located near the restrooms. They don't always advertise them, but they are there. Hunt them down. But the hack doesn't stop there. Once you're on the plane, don't just accept the tiny cup of water they give you. When the flight attendants come by, politely ask, "Would you mind filling up my water bottle for me?" They are almost always happy to do it. Now you have a full liter of water to stay hydrated, which is one of the best ways to combat jet lag, instead of a tiny cup that's gone in 2 sips. You save money, reduce plastic waste, and feel a whole lot better when you land. Airport Wi-Fi is a tease. It promises free internet, but then hits you with a 30 or 60-minute time limit, which always seems to expire right when you're in the middle of something important. Suddenly, a paywall pops up demanding your credit card info. Don't give it to them. There's a simple loophole. The airport Wi-Fi tracks your device, not you as a person. When your time is up, simply put your phone or laptop into airplane mode for about 10 seconds. Then, turn it off and reconnect to the Wi-Fi. The system will see you as a brand new device and grant you another free session. You can repeat this as many times as you need. Some airports even have multiple free networks, like Airport Free Wi-Fi and Boingo Hotspot. When your time expires on one, just switch to the other. With these tricks, you'll never have to pay for airport internet again. After a 12-hour flight, you feel grimy, sticky, and exhausted. The thought of waiting until you get to your hotel to wash up is just depressing. But at many major international airports, you don't have to. Airports like Singapore Changi, Dubai International, and Tokyo Narita have completely free shower facilities that most passengers walk right past without ever knowing they exist. These aren't dingy little stalls. They're often clean, well-maintained rooms equipped with towels, soap, and everything you need to feel human again. For example, in Dubai's Terminal 3, you can find them between gates B13 and B19. They aren't always clearly marked, so you may need to ask at an information desk, but taking 20 minutes to have a hot shower during a layover is a total game changer. It's the difference between showing up to your destination feeling like a zombie and arriving refreshed and ready to go. In the US, you're expected to shell out $5 or $6 just to use a luggage cart. But in many international airports, they understand that charging tired travelers for a basic necessity is just wrong. Major hubs like Seoul Incheon, Singapore Changi, and Dubai International offer unlimited free luggage carts throughout their terminals. Even in airports that do charge, you can often find rogue carts that people have used and left near the baggage claim or curbside. A quick scan can often save you a few bucks. It seems like a small thing, but when you're exhausted and hauling heavy bags, a free cart feels like a gift from the travel gods. A long layover is usually a sentence to 8 hours of boredom in an uncomfortable chair. But what if you could turn that dead time into a mini vacation? Some airports, famously Istanbul, Singapore, and Doha, offer completely free city tours for transit passengers with long layovers. We're talking a guided tour, transportation, and sometimes even entrance fees to major attractions, all for free. Instead of staring at a departures board, you could be wandering through the Grand Bazaar in Istanbul or seeing the incredible skyline of Singapore. You typically need a layover of at least 6 to 8 hours, and you have to sign up at a designated transit desk when you arrive. But this is, without a doubt, one of the best-kept secrets in travel. It can turn the most dreaded part of your journey into an unexpected highlight. An overnight layover can be brutal. Trying to sleep on a row of metal chairs under fluorescent lights that never turn off is next to impossible. But many airports have hidden quiet zones and relaxation areas that are like secret oases in the chaos. These aren't always advertised. You have to know to look for them. They can be dimly lit rooms with comfortable reclining loungers, designated quiet zones where noise is forbidden, or in some cases even free to use nap pods. They're often tucked away in less trafficked parts of the terminal. Flight crews and savvy frequent travelers know where these spots are and guard the knowledge closely. Ask an airline lounge agent or an airport information desk employee, is there a designated quiet area or rest zone in this terminal? Sometimes a polite question is all it takes to be pointed toward a place where you can actually get some decent sleep. The outlets at the gate are always full. It's a law of the universe. But there are almost always more charging spots hidden in plain sight. Don't just look at the gate. Walk around. Look for charging tables in food court areas. Check the pillars and walls near information kiosks or behind rows of seats. Sometimes business centers have desks with outlets you can use. The further you get from the crowded gate areas, the better your chances are. Airport employees know all the secret spots, so if you're truly desperate, politely asking a gate agent or even a janitor might get you an insider tip. Landing in a new country and turning on your phone can be terrifying. The threat of insane international roaming charges is real, but in some places they make it easy for you. Airports like Dubai, for example, will literally hand you a free local SIM card upon arrival. It usually comes with a small amount of data, like 1 gigabyte, which is more than enough to order a ride, check your maps, and let your family know you've arrived safely. Look for the kiosks in the arrivals hall. Even if a free one isn't available, buying a local SIM card at the airport is almost always dramatically cheaper than paying your home carrier's roaming fees. Everyone loves a window seat for the view, but they come with a hidden downside. They are significantly colder than any other seat on the plane. At 35,000 feet, the air outside is a bone-chilling -70 degrees Fahrenheit, or about -56 Celsius. That cold radiates right through the fuselage and the window pane. You're basically sitting next to a freezer wall for the entire flight. This is especially a problem when you're dressed for a warm destination. You board in shorts and a t-shirt and find yourself shivering an hour later. The simple solution? Always pack a sweater or a light jacket in your carry-on, even if you're flying to the tropics. Or as soon as you board, ask a flight attendant for a blanket. They know the window seats get cold and are usually happy to oblige. This one might hurt. That hot coffee or tea the flight attendant offers you might seem like a comforting ritual, but you should probably skip it. Here's why. The water used to make it comes from an onboard tank. And those tanks? Well, they are notoriously difficult to clean and are rarely sanitized as often as they should be. Studies have found all sorts of nasty bacteria in airplane water systems. In fact, many flight attendants will privately admit that they never drink the coffee or tea on their own flights. They stick to bottled water and canned drinks. If the people who work on the plane every single day are avoiding it, that should tell you everything you need to know. You probably think the lavatory is the grossest place on an airplane. It's not. The two filthiest surfaces are right at your seat: the tray table and the seat back pocket. Think about it. That tray table has been used as a dinner plate, a pillow for a drooling passenger, a makeshift diaper-changing station, and a desk for someone coughing all over it. The seat back pocket is the airplane's garbage can, filled with used tissues, dirty napkins, and who knows what else. Cleaning crews have very little time between flights. They do a quick trash pickup, but they are not deep cleaning and sanitizing every single tray table. So, the number one thing you should do when you sit down is take out a disinfectant wipe and clean your tray table, armrests, and seatbelt buckle. Never ever eat food directly off the tray table. If you want to avoid delays and have a smoother ride, always book the earliest flight of the day. Here's why. The air travel system is like a line of dominoes. A single storm or mechanical issue with an 8 a.m. flight in New York can cause a ripple effect, delaying and canceling flights all across the country for the rest of the day. Morning flights get a fresh start before those problems have a chance to build up. Furthermore, the air itself is generally calmer in the morning. Thunderstorms and choppy air are much more likely to develop in the afternoon as the sun heats the ground. Airlines know this, and they prioritize getting their morning flights out on time to set a good tone for the day. You'll have a much higher chance of an on-time departure and a less turbulent ride. Conventional wisdom says the best service is in first class, and while the seats are bigger, the most attentive and personalized service often happens in the very back of the plane. Think about it from the flight attendant's perspective. If they give an extra snack or a free drink to someone in the front, everyone sees it and wants one. But in the back, near the galley, they have more privacy and flexibility. They can chat with passengers, offer extra amenities, and provide more personal service without the whole cabin watching. If you're polite, friendly, and choose a seat in one of the last few rows, you might just find yourself getting treated like a VIP. You'll deplane last, sure, but you might have a much more pleasant flight experience. Almost everyone gets this wrong. You get your neck pillow, inflate it until it's as hard as a rock, and then wonder why it's so uncomfortable. The problem is air pressure. As the plane climbs to cruising altitude, the cabin pressure drops. This causes the air trapped inside your pillow to expand. That fully inflated pillow now becomes a rock-hard neck brace. It's not only uncomfortable, but it can actually strain your neck. The pro move is to inflate your pillow to only about 80% capacity on the ground. This leaves room for the air to expand, ensuring your pillow stays soft and supportive at 35,000 feet. Never, ever rely on the airline for entertainment. You might get on the plane to find your seatback screen is broken, the movie selection is terrible, or the in-flight Wi-Fi is too slow to stream anything. That's a recipe for a very long, very boring flight. The pro move is to take control. Before you leave home, load up your phone or tablet with hours of content. Download a whole season of a show from Netflix, create a long playlist on Spotify, and grab a few podcasts or an audiobook. You become your own movie theater. This way, it doesn't matter what the airline offers. You're guaranteed to have something you actually want to watch or listen to. And this is where a good pair of noise-canceling headphones becomes your best friend. When you book your flight, you'll see an option for special meals: vegetarian, kosher, gluten-free, and so on. Most people ignore this. Don't. Ordering a special meal is like getting a free upgrade for your food. Here's why. These meals are prepared by specialized caterers in smaller batches, and they are often fresher and more flavorful than the standard chicken or pasta that's been mass-produced. But the best part: special meals are always served first. You'll have your food and be happily eating while the rest of the cabin is still waiting for the carts to roll by. You don't need to have a dietary restriction to order one. Just select it online before your flight and enjoy better food, served faster. This is about both hygiene and comfort. Those airplane seats might look clean, but they see hundreds of passengers and are rarely deep cleaned. When you wear shorts, your bare skin is in direct contact with a surface that has absorbed sweat, spills, and germs from countless strangers. Pants or leggings provide a simple, effective barrier. But it's also about comfort. As we discussed, cabins can get surprisingly cold. The person in shorts is often left shivering and miserable, while the person in pants is perfectly comfortable. And in the unlikely event of an emergency, pants offer far more protection for your legs than shorts do. It's a simple choice that makes a big difference. This tip is so simple, yet so crucial, especially for international travel. At some point, a flight attendant is going to hand you a customs form or an immigration card that needs to be filled out before you land. What happens next is the great pen scramble. Dozens of unprepared passengers start asking each other, "Can I borrow your pen?" It creates chaos and delays. If you don't have one, you'll be the person waiting until everyone else is done. Or worse, trying to fill it out in a frantic rush while waiting in the immigration line. Pack a pen. Keep it in your carry-on. It weighs nothing, costs nothing, and will make you feel like a genius when those forms come around. If you're a nervous flyer or just hate turbulence, this one's for you. The smoothest place to sit on an airplane is directly over the wings. Think of the plane like a seesaw. The areas at the very front and the very back will experience the most up and down motion. The middle of the seesaw, the balance point, moves the least. On an airplane, that balance point is where the wings are. The wings are the center of lift and gravity, making that section of the fuselage the most stable part of the aircraft during turbulence. Pilots and flight attendants know this, and it's where they often choose to sit when they fly as passengers. Alright, this is the one you've been waiting for. The ridiculously simple trick to get your bag off the plane first. When you check your luggage, politely ask the agent, "Could you please put a fragile sticker on my bag?" That's it. That's the whole trick. Here's why it works. Baggage handlers are trained to handle bags marked as fragile with more care. This means they are often loaded onto the plane last, on top of all the other bags. And when it's time to unload, what goes on last comes off first. Your fragile bag will be one of the first to be placed on the baggage carousel, while everyone else is still staring at an empty belt. This simple request can save you 15, 20, even 30 minutes of waiting. It also has the added benefit of your bag actually being handled more gently. It's the ultimate travel hack, and it costs you nothing. So there you have it. 25 tips that transform flying from a stressful ordeal into a smooth, manageable experience. The difference between a struggling traveler and a savvy one isn't about luck or how much money you spend. It's about knowing these little insider strategies that airlines and airports don't exactly advertise. Start using these on your next trip, and you'll be amazed at the difference. Your phone will stay charged, your seat will be comfortable, you'll skip the lines, and you'll arrive at your destination refreshed instead of exhausted. Flying will finally become what it was always meant to be, just a simple way to get from here to there. What's your #1 travel tip that I missed? Let me know down in the comments. Safe travels, and I'll see you in the next video.